12 people dead, more than 50 hurt in gun violence in Chicago just this past weekend. This uptick in violence, of course, hurting police. This year, 62 officers have been killed in gun-related violence. That, by the way, almost double last year's number. Let's go now to Detective Steve Loomis, a frequent guest of the show. Detective, those are very disturbing numbers. What do you put that down to?
The Ferguson effect, plain and simple. The lack of support of the Obama administration for law enforcement across this country has absolutely handcuffed police officers. We're no longer proactively policing the neighborhoods that really need us the most. And that's heartbreaking to the cops out there. I know these guys want to go out and do that job, but we're willing to take the risks that are inherent to the job, the life limb risks, the physical injuries, but we can't go out there and risk civil lawsuits and politically charged prosecutions, premature prosecutions. We're just not going to do it.
Well, Chicago's police chief said that the criminals and those behind the shootings have been emboldened, empowered, if you like, by a public perception that the police are always in the wrong, and it's kind of that the public sentiment is on the criminal side. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. Chief McCarthy he's able to say the things that he can say now because he's moved on in his career, but he is not saying anything that any police chief wouldn't tell you if they could. Certainly every police union president would be able to tell you the same thing. The resources, we've been treated as a necessary evil in this country for the last 8 years. Our resources have been diminished. We don't have the boots on the street that we need to have to do the job the right way. And the perfect example, sir, is the success we had in the RNC. We proved without doubt that when you have enough police officers to do the job and do the job the right way, great things happen. And that's exactly what we saw at the RNC, and I hope that that's what Mr. Trump is going to bring back to us.
Well, that was my next question to you, Steve. Do you think Donald Trump can put in some sort of effective strategy that will address this problem?
Absolutely. He's going to be able to start with the Department of Justice, with the Attorney General, the Attorney General's office. Right now, they're treating us as criminals and the bad guys out here. Hopefully, in January 20th, that's going to change. Certainly resources, federal resources. We're sending trillions of dollars everywhere else in the world. We can send a little bit of money to the cities, the cash-strapped cities that need the resources, the bodies on the street, the cars, the equipment. We all want to buy into community-empowered policing. We want to get back out in the communities. We can't do that, especially here in Cleveland. We're going from run to run to run. We want to be able to spend some time in the neighborhoods and get to know the people in those neighborhoods, and we can't do that right now.
Well,
and
hopefully,
if that doesn't change, nothing's going to change.
Right. Well, hopefully that will change. Steve Loomis, detective with the Cleveland Police Department. As always, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Have a good New Year.
Yes, you too, sir. Let's bring in Louie Gohmert. Look, Chicago alone is just an absolute mess. The president's hometown, and they just can't seem to get a handle on it. And to the detective's point, the public, the police don't have the support, not only from those in charge that can give them the help, but often the public perception.
Yeah, and the public has known, and especially had it reinforced after 9/11, that first responders, police, law enforcement, they are our friends. And having been a prosecutor and a felony judge, I saw it firsthand. Yes, police are made of human beings, and so they're going to be a bad apple. But the percentage of bad apples among law enforcement is so much smaller than the general population. So what does Obama do? If he says the police acted stupidly, then the opposite's true. They did exactly the right thing. And when he says we're going to bring down gun violence, it got worse. He was, we're going to end gun violence. The first thing they do is get 2,000 guns to the drug cartels. So it's going to be refreshing. I was on a plane, and I ended up, I was asking the guy next to me in the middle seat what he did. It's like he was embarrassed. Policeman. I'm looking forward to the day when Trump's president and somebody will be proud again, and we won't have the federal government. Look, this president's done for law enforcement what Carter did for education, just right near destroyed it.
All right, we'll have to leave it on that point. Thank you so much for being here, by the way.